Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron. Let's talk about Season 1 of Wayward Pines. Wayward Pines is based on the Pines book trilogy and tells the story of Secret Service agent Ethan Burke. Ethan is on a mission to find two other Secret Service agents that went missing, and he ends up in this strange and mysterious town in Idaho. Then the story becomes about what is up with this strange small town. Why is everyone so weird, and what is the mysterious mysterying behind everything? Mystery. Wayward Pines is executive produced by M. Night Shyamalan. You know, that guy that made one good movie, a few okay movies, and a few not okay movies. He's actually not the one who created the show or was the one to adapt the books for television, but he does have his name all over this show, so I'm guessing there is some creative direction on his part. And regardless of what you may think about his work, he does have a brand, and his brand is mystery with a big twist. So that is exactly what Wayward Pine is, a mystery story that you have to figure out with Ethan and the rest of the cast as the reveals get bigger and bigger. So while I'm not a fan of Shyamalan, I do love a good mystery story. I love it when a story keeps me on my toes and keeps me guessing. So I wanted to absolutely love Wayward Pines, and it's almost there. It's good, but I had some problems. But before we talk about those problems, let's talk about some of the good stuff. First of all, atmosphere. This show is creepy, and it communicates just how weird this small town is. And it can even make you a little bit uncomfortable as you see these characters behave in a certain way while you don't understand why they're behaving that way. I thought that Matt Dillon in the lead role did a great job, and the rest of the cast did a great job as well. Well, almost all of them. There's one incredibly overacted character that makes all of her scenes feel like they're just a bad attempt at comedy more than anything else. I thought the pacing was good, the pace in which we get the reveals, because if a show waits too long before they explain something, they kind of cross that line between I really want to know what happens and I just don't care anymore. So I loved the premise, I loved the overall package, but the issues I had were with the interactions between some of the characters. There are a lot of situations in this show where one character has to explain something to another character, something unbelievable, something that if I had to explain to you, I would know that you would never believe me, so I would go a certain way about explaining the thing to you. So that entire thought process just does not exist in Wayward Pines. Every time that situation comes around, which is pretty often, it just feels so unnatural, almost as if they're in a TV show and one of the characters is just not supposed to figure something out yet. Now, I know this sounds like nitpicking, and it might be, but I just think that this process that these characters have to go through as they learn the answers to these massive questions is a huge part of how effective a mystery story is. So every few episodes I found myself frustrated, like, why would you explain that way? Why would anyone? I know I get a little excited talking about this, but I wouldn't say it ruined the show for me. It definitely held it back, though, from being great. Some of the other smaller issues that I had with the show had to do with how certain characters behaved before and after the big reveal. The way someone behaves might seem strange, out of place, evil even. But then after you learn what's going on, it's supposed to make sense. Now that you see it in a different light, in retrospect, everything makes sense. That's usually how these things would go, but in Wayward Pines, there's one character in particular where that switch just doesn't work and then the character stops making sense. Bottom line, should you watch it? I still think that Wayward Pines is good and tells a compelling story, and there's a lot of things that this show does right. If you're a fan of this type of story, this mystery story, then there's a lot here that you might like. I certainly had fun with it, and at 10 episodes, 45 minutes each, it's very easy to get through. I just have this feeling that it could have been amazing at what it does, but it's not. I think mystery fans will enjoy this, but will not remember this as some great story. As of making this video, I have not watched season 2 yet. I'm definitely going to, although I'm not super optimistic about it. What about you? Have you watched season 1 of Wayward Pines? This show was actually suggested by you, so I'm very excited to hear what you thought about this show and the twists and the turns. Just make sure to use spoiler tags in your comments if you're talking about spoilers. Remember, you can go to bingewatchers.space/vote and vote on what gets reviewed next on this channel. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Come talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. But in any case, keep binging, and I will see you next time.